What's up, guys? This is RJ Game News USA here, back today with another video, and today we're discussing something that quite honestly pisses me off. EA lays off staff across all Battlefield studios following record-breaking Battlefield 6 launch. This is not a joke. This is the headline from an article from IGN. We're going to read through some of it and discuss. So, if you like gaming news and you like my content, hit the like button, share, and subscribe for more. And we're going to jump right into this. First, before we start the article, let me just say, Battlefield 6 was the best-selling game last year. Yet they are laying people off. That should tell you the state of the gaming industry. Much like we could say with the state of marriages, not good. Because, hell, if Tom Brady can't keep Gisele Bündchen, what hell chance do we average Joes have? And same thing with the video game industry. If Battlefield 6 can't keep its developers on after being the best-selling game, hell, what chance does any game have other than maybe GTA 6? So let's just jump right into it. EA has laid off an unknown number of individuals from across its Battlefield teams, including workers at Criterion, DICE, Ripple Effect, and Motive Studios. IGN understands individuals are being informed that the layoffs are taking place as part of a realignment across the Battlefield studios as the team continues its ongoing live service support for Battlefield 6 following launch. All 4 studios will remain operational, though the layoffs seem to be impacting a variety of teams across multiple studios and offices. Fucking hate this. Fucking hate this. For a game that is successful, I think it's time maybe we redo how we do things in the industry. And instead of having a cohesive studio that may or may not get laid off, these studios might need to start getting paid by the project and then left on retainer if they don't have any work. Because this shit is not working for people. Okay, then the whole job market gets reshuffled again, and they gotta go try to find jobs. It fucking sucks. These are real people with real families that have real needs that they need to take care of. And greed is running rampant at EA and across the gaming industry as we speak. Continuing the article. IGN asked EA for comment on total number of types of roles impacted, as well as for the specific reason for the layoffs, and an EA spokesman told IGN, "We've made select changes within our Battlefield organization to better align our teams around what matters most to our communities. Battlefield remains one of our biggest priorities, and we're continuing to invest in the franchise, guided by player feedback and insights from Battlefield Labs." So in other words, the spokesman gave them a load of bullshit and word salad and didn't answer their fucking question. They basically might as well have said, "We don't have to tell you anything, go fuck off." I would have respected that answer a little better. Battlefield 6 was the best-selling game of 2025 in the United States. It sold a record-shattering 7 million copies in 3 days and was the best launch ever for a game in the franchise. While its campaign received a bit of a mixed response from critics, including us, we gave its multiplayer an 8 out of 10 at launch. And yes, Battlefield 6 finally was the Battlefield that said it would do what it was going to do, which was kill COD. You know, COD's not dead. Yes, COD will be back next year. But they overtook COD. They did it. This Battlefield actually did it. Continuing the article. However, the months since Battlefield 6 launch have seen the game begin to struggle from patch to patch. Fans have criticized a number of updates due to reasons ranging from cosmetics to movement, and 5 months in, Steam reviews have fallen to mixed from mostly positive start. Major issues reported including criticism of heavy monetization, use of generative AI for in-game cosmetics, and fewer content updates than expected. The criticism was heavy enough that the teams delayed the start of Season 2 to allow more time to implement community feedback. EA recently published a 3-month roadmap for its expected updates. And here is the fucking problem with live service game. Every single multiplayer is now expected to be a live service game. You don't do enough patches, you don't do enough updates, you're not supporting the game. Oh, you do too many? You just fucked up how I like my game. It's fucking annoying. Why couldn't they just release the game, sell a shitload of copies, be done with it? We're moving on to 7. Obviously, we got to maintain servers and do updates as we go where it's necessary. Live service aspect hurts even the most popular of games. What do these companies not understand? What do these players not understand? And then, of course, cutting jobs, I'm sure, will make it a lot easier to do these updates, by the way. Steam concurrents have also dropped significantly following Battlefield 6's big launch. Gee, I wonder, every fucking game has some kind of drop from their launch. You can't just expect them to be at their all-time peak from the beginning of the game's release all the way to fucking 5 years later. Its huge concurrent peak was 747,440. Steam concurrents are now typically in the tens of thousands. For example, Battlefield 6 hit 67,000 peak concurrent players on Valve's platform yesterday. Of course, Steam numbers do not paint the whole picture of the game's popularity or success. Given Battlefield 6 is also available on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, I could tell you there's a ton more copies of PS5 versions of Battlefield 6, for sure. But they do give a sense of where a game is at. And in Battlefield 6's case, the drop-off of many have been more dramatic than EA had expected. Meanwhile, the free-to-play Battlefield Royal RedSec has had a problem of its own, with a mostly negative Steam user review rating for recent posts. RedSec does suck. RedSec probably shouldn't have even come out. It's sort of their free-to-play wing of Battlefield 6, and it was a terrible time when I played it. Now, oddly enough, somehow, it's still better than Highguard. I don't know how, and it's definitely better than Marathon, but RedSec still sucks dick. Trust me, I played it on stream. You can check it out. Maybe Highguard might be better. I don't know. These layoffs come just months after an unexpected death of Battlefield franchise head Vince Zampella in a car accident. Wait a minute. I didn't realize Vince Zampella was the Battlefield head. I thought he went to COD, then Titanfall. I didn't know he was over Battlefield now. They also come as EA is preparing to be acquired by an investor group composed of Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. That's the reason. There's your fucking reason. Saudi Arabia, meddling, getting involved. I remember covering that story. The investment fund is Silver Lake and Affinity Partners, and they acquired them for approximately $55 billion. However, the acquisition is not yet closed, and it's expected to close in the first quarter of 2027 financial year, or April, May, or June this year. IGN understands internally EA is stating that the layoffs are unrelated to the acquisition. Bullshit! Every acquisition I've ever seen in any industry seems to come with some form of layoffs. Stop feeding me bullshit. I'm telling you, you must call them out. If I was an IGN reporter and I was told this bullshit to my face, I would say, I'm sorry, sir. Quit feeding me bullshit. We know it has something to do with the acquisition. He'd probably say interview's over. He'd probably say, we're not going to just talk with you again. I don't give a fuck. We need real journalism again in the gaming space to actually hold these companies accountable. Gaming journalists get walked over more than any other sector of journalism there is. Political journalists do a much better job. Movie critics do a much better job than gaming journalists. That's why people like me even exist to begin with, because we can ask the hard questions, we can ask the tough questions, and we could tell these companies where to go, where to shove it, and demand they tell the truth. And if they don't, we already know the fucking truth, and we can call them out for it. So with that being said, I hope every single person that lost their job thanks to EA and Saudi Arabia's greed is able to land on their feet and provide for their family. Outside of that, I don't give a fuck what happens to EA or Battlefield 6. Alright, that'd be the end of the video. You guys can comment below. Let me know what you think. But for now, this is RJ signing out. Have a good one.